Hello, on the planet and beyond. I'm Sade of Between Here and There, a Thrive based consulting business surrounding global hygiene and applications of information technology. We define global hygiene as the cleanliness and the health of the planet. Okay, and today we're going to get into the ultimate energy source, which is the sun. The reason why things are able to grow, therefore provide oxygen, therefore sustain life here on planet Earth. Also, it maneuvers with water bodies. I know the moon gets a lot of um, say so when it comes to the movement of water, but also the sun has a lot to do with it because it also has to do with air, the movement of air and air masses. Okay, so with temperature changes and movements of the electromagnetic spectrum of energies. Okay. So currently, the sun is in its 11-year cycle, and within that 11-year cycle, there are things that happen on the surface of the sun, which we believe is the surface of the sun. From what our scientists know, some people believe it's a fluid plasma type of energy. There are other hypotheses about what the sun actually is. We have not been able to travel that far to collect a sample, okay? It's too hot. So during that cycle, those sunspots either increase or decrease. And with it increasing, there's more of the sun's electromagnetic energy, the insulation being sent to the planet. So that's going to increase its temperature and increase the temperature of planet Earth, as well as affect certain electronics that aren't protected. Okay, so that's where you're getting electromagnetic pulses from, the electromagnetic spectrum of energy, and that pulse is coming from those sunspots sending off that energy and on to the planet. So what we have to do is be aware and keep an eye and ears open within this time span. It should end in 2026, I believe. We're right in it as it started in 2023. Let me look it up to give you the exacts. Interesting. Okay, well, it's letting us know the solar maximum should be in late 2024. So of next year, it should be in the solar maximum. Um, okay, so it says during the peak of activity called solar maximum, the sun's magnetic poles flip. Then the sun will grow quiet again during a solar minimum. Initially, peak activity was forecasted to begin July of 2025. Now, experts believe the cyclic peak is more likely to take place mid to late 2024. Okay. And so what happens there? Okay, so that energy being sent to the planet, increasing the temperature. During that time frame, there's also going to be an increase of skin related issues. Okay, we don't hear so much about hair because hair seems to be able to withstand a bit more, probably because it's actual construction of what um, ingredients and chemicals make up hair, which we won't get into that too much. But we're, speaking on skin and melanoma specifically because it does affect that melanin layer within the skin and can start to divide rapidly, causing cancerous, can go from malignant to very much, benign to very much malignant cancerous tumors. Okay. So, and during this time, we're actually entering into the September equinox. Okay. So the planet is rotating, and so therefore we are getting a different level of solar insolation, which during this 11-year cycle, we're going to transition. Excuse me, not 11-year cycle. The sun is in its 11-year cycle. However, for our rotation, our seasons in which we'll be affected, we will transition in and out of the sun cycle through our seasons quite a few times because it's set to end in like 2026. And so it's interesting because I know this information, and then I've using my phone to look it up, and now I'm not able to find some of this information, which is kind of weird. A little weird. Um, yeah, we're currently in it. And so it started 2023, and I believe it runs until 2026. Not sure why it's coming up, but I want this video to be quite short to give you that nugget of information. And so there are things that are going to affect the planet. Now, the we already have global warming, we're having climate change, heightened levels of pollution, polluted waters cool the planet. So once you add those additional ingredients, it increases the water's temperature. So we're going to have to take a harder look at how we're operating as an organism on this sentient planet and how we can balance out some of the external factors that we have no control over. We have no control over the sun spots, anything of that sort that's happening outside of our realm. Like as soon as we reach the heavens, the water, precipitation, sleet, hail, snow, we don't have any control over that. And so we have to be aware and spread the knowledge to prepare others for incidents that could potentially occur. Okay, so again, we're shifting into the September equinox. The sun is in its 11-year cycle where sunspots could release high levels of electromagnetic radiation in which it will affect people's skin. It can affect electronics. With electronics, it's communication. It's how we basically maneuver. Our vehicles are maneuvering through technology. Our homes are armed with technology. So there's a lot of things that come into play when we think about catastrophes and great cataclysms that happen. We need to have an understanding that the planet has been going through this cycle for quite some time, and so it's not too far off to say that could potentially happen to us, where our world is shaken a bit because of structures that we've created to play into our creature comforts, is what some would say. Okay, so I hope that gave a little bit. I want to get more on this topic, but it's quite complex and I don't want it to kind of go all over the place. However, the main idea is we are in this 11-year cycle. The sun can potentially affect our electronics, also our skin and our interactions with the amount of time that we're outside, as well as things that we're wearing on our person, on our bodies, when these solar flares could occur. Okay, so if you have any questions or specific things you want to know about the sun, let me know. Again, I'm versed in quite a few areas: environmental science, research, surveillance, soldier skills in general, hiking, camping, yeah, a lot of different things. And so I try to keep the information in small nuggets to be easily use, listen to. After some time, people tune things out. And so I want to ensure that I'm keeping it lively and vibrant and bringing you information that you can actually use. Okay? So that wraps up this video. I hope you like, share, subscribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having an interest in what's going on the planet and how you can be of assistance, because it's going to take each and every one of us to move this planet forward into an oasis, and even further than that, a paradise, because an oasis is like co-located by itself and surrounding desert. This entire planet being a paradise and creation of heaven on earth. Okay, so I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for signing up for this mission. It is a fruitful one. Okay, so I'll holla.